This is just a quick video showing you how our Edgeware node works. For it to work properly, you have to be in Cycles, and I also recommend you to be in your rendered mode in the viewport here. So to add it, you press Shift-A, scroll down to Group, choose Anatomy of Decay Edgeware V2. Then you Control-Shift-click this node group to preview it like so. And we can zoom in here, and we're going to be covering what each slider does. The wear amount controls how much wear and tear the edge has. Putting it at 0 means nothing has happened. Putting it at 1 means the full edge has been destroyed, basically. Then we have edge radius, which controls how large the damage should be. Then we have macro breakup, which randomizes the edge wear. And then we also have macro scale, which controls the size of the macro breakup. Noise scale controls how large the noise pattern should be within the edge wear. With Manhattan Blend over here, you can control the transition between the normal noise pattern of Blender to the more stylized version of the Voronoi noise texture set to Manhattan. So in practice, it looks like this. If we scale up the noise a bit and maybe change the edge radius, you can see that setting this to 1, we get these squares, and setting it to 0 just creates this cloud-looking noise texture. So I recommend playing with values somewhere in between. Then we have our organic peel blend, which gives it a more natural, organic kind of feel, I would say. You can also see how this looks like if we scale up the radius and put it to 1 and then back to 0. So I recommend you to use a mix of all of this to get realistic or even stylized results like this. Then we have edge softness, which basically controls the transition between this edge and the black part here. All right, so what if you want to use this with Eevee? If we change the render engine to Eevee, it doesn't work. So we go back into Cycles, we add an emission shader, like so, and we can create a new image texture over here. Let's call it mask, set it to, I don't know, 2K maybe. Copy this over here, like so, new image. And with the cube selected and the mask selected here, you go into your render properties, scroll down to bake, choose emission as bake type, above surface, and then you just press bake. Now our mask has been baked onto an image, which is this one. But before we use it, we have to go into our image editor, choose the mask, and save it somewhere. So now if I go back to our render engine over here and choose Eevee, you can see the cube is black, but if I plug in the color here into this color here, you can see that our mask has been applied. So now we can use this to, for example, blend between two nodes. Let's do a mix shade over here, like so. Plug this in here, set it to non-color as well. Let's use a better color. Yeah. So now you can see that the edgeware works in Eevee as well. Downside of this is that if you want to change this, you would have to go back into Cycles, add the edgeware node back, and redo all the steps. And if you want to learn more stuff like this, you can join my course and community called Anatomy of Decay, where I teach you my full workflow of creating these cool looking post-apocalyptic environments all inside of Blender. I cover the full workflow going from rough idea to a finished animated render. And because of our summer sale, I'm throwing in several bonuses like assets, materials, decals, project files, and a lot more. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in, you can head over to anatomyofdecay.com and check out our summer sale. Bye.